let's turn back the clock, man. Let's go back to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thursday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We had a rare opportunity where we had the preview episode that was the same day as the Dolphins were playing, bro. So we had no idea what was gonna happen. We had a an idea. That idea did come to fruition, and one of the things I did ask you is, what do you think is gonna happen if the Miami Dolphins go 0-3? Would you consider that to be a lost season? Do you feel like the season is done? Do you feel like the season is over? Before we get to that question, though, I want you to just recap the game, dog. What was your overall assessment of the game itself? And then we'll go there for a more longer form conversation, Rod.
So when it comes to the game, Herbie, especially now that I'm like a few days removed, so the initial, I don't even want to call it the initial sting, because I'll be honest with you, Herbie, when I watched Tua throw that pick to pretty much seal the game for us, it was one of the rare times where I watched the Dolphins make a mistake and I just stared at the TV. I didn't react. I didn't curse. I didn't throw anything. I just stared at the TV because in a weird way, I just knew something was going to go wrong. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be a Tua pick, but I just had a feeling something was going to go wrong, which tells you where I am with the state of this team. What I will say, because I don't want to bring all this doom and gloom, because obviously the Dolphins have been eating it since Thursday night. It was actually nice to see at least the boys have some. Like, I was fully expecting these guys to get completely curb stomped, because there's been plenty of times we go to Buffalo, especially in this regime. 2023 actually comes to mind, where we go to Buffalo and they destroy us, right? But the Dolphins came out, they showed some heart early in the game. They fought. The defense actually got some stops. The defense is showing signs of improvement. I think Anthony Weaver is slowly figuring out exactly what he has in terms of the players in his secondary, as well as figuring out the best ways to position guys in the front seven. But ultimately, Herbie, look, the way I look at it, Herbie, it was a hard fought game. We were against a division rival, but we made too many mistakes. You look at the Zach Sealer penalty, you look at the Tua interception, which has been broken down by various figures on YouTube, from Kurt Warner to JT O'Sullivan to Marcellus Wiley to like, for whatever reason, this interception is the most popular interception I've seen in a long time. But ultimately, Herbie, the Dolphins are what the Dolphins are, and that is, Bill Parcells once said, "You are what your record says you are," and we are an 0-3 team. And even though we fought hard, at the end of the day, there are no moral victories. A loss is a loss, and we are winless.
Okay, so let's move the conversation forward then, man. You guys are 0-3. We said it. We said if you guys go 0-3, that, I mean, might as well call the season done. Do you still feel that way after these three games?
Here's the thing, Herbie. When you look at the history of the league and you look at, just the reality of things, I'm not going to say that it's 100% impossible. Like, you know what? I'll give the Dolphins a 0.5% chance of turning it around.
Right, right.
Here's the thing, Herbie, and this is what kills me about this. Shout out to True. True, I know you feel me, my boy. But this is what kills me about the Dolphins, Herbie. The thing that I'm afraid of the most is the fact that we have a best case scenario that equals our worst case scenario. And what I mean by that is the Dolphins are 0-3 right now, Herbie. So let's be honest. Realistically, we're gonna win what? If the Dolphins at their absolute best, they turn it around, they'll win what? 9 games?
9 games, 8, and then
Right? So the best case scenario, Herbie, is also the worst case scenario, because what if the Dolphins end up rattling off a bunch of wins? They'll be around 9-8, 8-9, and that'll put us where, Herbie? Where we always are, in the middle.
slab dab in the middle.
Mediocrity. So really, Herbie, Dolphin fans only really have two results that we really want, and one of them kind of sucks, because nobody who loves football wants to see their team lose. Right?
Absolutely.
Even though it's more beneficial sometimes for your team to lose in terms of draft positioning and acquiring capital and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Herbie, there's two results for this team that you want. You either want the Dolphins to have a miraculous turnaround, and for me personally, a miraculous turnaround involves winning a playoff game. There is no indication at all
at all
that this team is going to win a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? None. You know what I'm saying? Dro, hey.
Yeah, it's a
Hey, man,
sad
what's up with
day.
your team, my boy? I'm
It's a
glad I ain't
sad
put no
day.
money on them.
It's a
You know what
sad
I
day.
mean?
Oh, you glad you ain't put no money on the bum ass Packers? Guess who did? This guy. Rod, don't you hate when you like, okay, I know that team not gonna lose, so let me try to build the rest out of my ticket. You, if you could have slapped me, you could have slapped me with a hot pan and said, "Do you think the Packers are gonna lose? Yes or no, dog?" I would have said, "Man, slap me, man. Them boys ain't losing by any means, man. It's the Browns. These are Super Bowl contenders, dog." 3 quarters, it's 3-0. I'm like, ain't no way, bruh. Like, do y'all know what they did to the Packers today? The same guy that I said looked like a used car salesman, bro, Mason Graham, who got drafted to the Cleveland Browns, the defensive tackle, who does not look like a defensive tackle, had a 43% pass rush win rate today.
Oh, they were
Like,
nasty today.
they were disgusting. The Browns might be the best defense in all of football. They're only allowing 200 yards a game to offenses, dog. Like it was ugly, like ugly. But we will talk more about that in the future, man. Back to the Dolphins, man.
But yeah, Herbie, the Dolphins are in a position, Herbie, where there's only two results fans can really want. The Dolphins fans either like this either has to spiral completely out of control to where we lose to the Jets Monday night and it just tanks from there, or we have a miraculous turnaround where we win a playoff game, which is not like Herbie. We have a 0.5% chance of that happening. That's what I'm giving it. I'm not even going to give it a full single digit. I'm going to give it a decimal, a 0.5% chance of us turning it around, winning a playoff game. That's what I'm giving it. And I'll get into those reasons on the Thursday preview show when we preview the game for the Jets. But as of right now, Herbie, the Dolphins are not in a position that you really want to be in because the team is just essentially going to be fighting for 500, which what fan, and True said it, who wants to be fighting for purgatory? We've been here. We've been here. I don't want to fight for purgatory anymore. I don't want to be a 9-8 team, Herbie. I don't want to be 8-9. I don't want to be 8-8. I'm tired.
I can hear it. I can hear it. Right when listen, dog. It seems okay, guys. We gonna bring y'all under the hood for a little bit, right quick, dog. Rod, for the sake of this podcast, somebody has to be a fan of a team, dog. Like when you said you felt nothing when they threw that pick, you starting to sound like me, dog. If you end up being like me, dog, then we ain't gonna have nothing to talk about, bro.
Herbie, I'll put it to you like this. When I was talking to one of my friends today, they were just like, I was explaining to them like how I was explaining being a Dolphin fan to somebody, and they were just like, this is how you talk about your team. And I told them, I said, let me tell you something. This is the most abusive relationship I have in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
I've been dealing with this for 30 years, bro. That's like, I'm supposed to be just happy about this? I'm supposed to just be, yeah, they're gonna get him next time. No, Herbie.
No, hell no.
No.
Why would I be?
Listen, anybody who's been a Dolphin fan long enough, and there are some fans who've been a fan of this team for 50 years, 60. Herbie, they're suffering even more than me because at least they got to watch the great Dan Marino. Herbie, I've been watching Jay Fiedler, and there are fans who talk about Jay Fiedler like he was some disgusting Chad Henne, Cleo Lemon, Gus Barat.
Ew.
Herbie, if I keep spitting out names, Herbie, this podcast will start stinking for the people who watch this. I can't even go. All right. But at the end of the day, I've been dealing with this for 30 years, dog. I'm not just going to be sitting here smiling. You know, shout out to all the other Dolphin YouTubers who do their due diligence, who keep it positive, but I don't got to do that. Fuck that.
Bro, you know what's so funny, bro? Like, I'll be watching the Dolphins Collective, and I watch Dudley Do-Right and all these dudes, bro. It's like, I know y'all faking it, dog. Stop it. Bro. Like, I know what this team is doing to y'all. I'm not even a fan, and they doing it to me. So I know what it's doing to y'all. Like y'all ain't got it, bro. Keep it 1K, man. Keep it 1,000. Wow.
TD keeps it 1K, man. The rest of them try to hide it, man. The rest of them try to hide it, man. For real.
Hey, the homie Joe said, man, Dolphins should go to 37U. Nah, now you tripping, all right? That's for the Raiders. The Raiders are 37U. The Browns are 37U. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of teams that's 37U worthy, bro. You ain't got to do the Dolphins like that, man. So, before we go ahead and close this chapter and move on with the rest of the NFL reaction, man, what is there any last words you have to say about the Dolphins before we put a bow on the Week 3 performance of the Dolphins, man? Through almost
Listen,
one quarter of Dolphins football.
what I'll say is this, Herbie. The Dolphins have been a dysfunctional offense, and on Thursday I'll get into the reasons why I think Tua has regressed, especially compared to his 2022-2023 self. But look, Herbie, there's no such thing as a turnaround that's impossible. Like the NFL is a crazy freaking sport.
We
This is
seen
not a
that
sport
today.
today is one of the most
Yeah.
unpredictable days you could have, right? And even though as bad as the Dolphins looked, Herbie, I watched other teams today and I thought to myself, as bad as I feel like my team is right now, I still think like there is an opportunity for them to be good. But here's the thing, Herbie. I'm just tired of what we have right now. I'm tired of the quarterback. I'm tired of the coach. Even though I actually think the coach gets a bad rep, I'll explain all that on Thursday. And I'm tired of the GM, especially. It's just like I want to clean. And you know, the fucked up thing is, Herbie, you want to clean house, but what's your answer, right? Like I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what coach I want. I don't know what GM I want. I don't know what quarterback I want. I just don't want these guys. I just don't want these guys anymore. Like I've seen what these guys can do. I feel like Herbie, this team. I didn't realize it at the time, but in 2023 we maxed out. I
Yeah.
just didn't know it. I just
Yeah.
didn't know. Like nobody knew. We thought that we could improve and build upon. No, 2023 was as good as it was going to get, and we were injured with half of our team. So it's unfortunate, but Herbie, I'm ready. I'm ready to start over, man. That's
Yeah, that's the thing about the NFL, man. Like when it goes extremely fast, man. So
like that.